welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. We have a lot to discuss. Alrighty. Poochie. So, what's on the docket today? Well, we need to discuss the gold farm. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Let's see. First. Well, today is Monday, and today we had Netto, who's not Netto anymore, tell us he has his new YouTube channel up and running. So you'll notice down in the comments, no, video description, yep, new link to Netto, who's not Netto anymore. New name, same great music. Check him out, guys. And hey, speaking of him, just because I like my intro, maybe you don't. Check him out. He has other music that he has that maybe you like and I don't. You know, so check him out. Give him a like. Check out his channel. Subscribe to him. Post a comment. Say hey. While you're at it, check out Griffiths82. He's done all of the artwork for me. He's pretty talented. Check him out. Send him a like. Give him a comment. Say hey. Alright, enough said about that. Let me head on over. Yeah? Oh, I love you too, Poochie. I'm gonna head on over to the Nether. We'll be right back. All right. Oop. All right. So we are going to head out to the Nether, and quick little tidbit of information for you. So I have been criticized. That's a good word for it. Criticized for the lack of original builds that I do. So when it came to the alright, Shadow, you just stay right there. No running off. So when it came to building the gold farm, I was like, clean this up. And yeah, I've been kind of busy, guys. So when it came to this, I went into a creative world and I said, you know what? I'm going to come up with my own design. It didn't work out too well, honestly. So the first thing I came up with was, I was like, hey, I know. I'll make a spawning pad that is like the witch farm that JL2579 does, and has the individual triggered drops. Thought, yeah, that'll be great. Good idea. Went into a creative world and tried to build that, and immediately had a problem. Whoop. Okay. Immediately had a problem. The problem I had, while it works good for the overworld and witch farm spawning, it doesn't work well here in the Nether. The redstone actually has some too high areas where mobs can spawn in. Now, in the overworld, JL solves this by having glowstone. thus lighting up the area and keeping mobs from spawning. Unfortunately, here in the Nether, light levels don't affect spawning. So yeah, that was fail number one. I said, okay, all right, we can recover from this. Design number two. Shifting floor. Okay, perfect. We'll take the floor and we'll just shift it left to right. Shift it left to right. Yeah, shift it left to right. Okay. Yeah. Problem with that was the timing of the shifting. The pigmen were moving around, and as JL points out, if a mob is not in the center of the block, when the block shifts, they don't necessarily fall through. So that was problem number two. So I said, okay, fine. Maybe I can come up with a modified JL's design. That didn't work either, so it's like, alright, that's fail 3. And then it hit me. I was like, yes, I know. I'll do an Enderman style pressure plate piston. Perfect. Okay, I built it. Mobs were spawning. Kind of like this. But then I had a piston that got ejected out and it just stayed out, and I was like, what's going on? What's wrong with it? So I dropped down to check out what was wrong with the redstone. And lo and behold, it wasn't the redstone that was wrong. It was a baby pigman. And I said, you gotta be kidding me. Baby pigman. Okay. So now I scratched my head. I was like, what am I gonna do now? I gotta come up with my own design, 'cause everybody's complaining. So I went to the drawing board. I said, how does everybody else do it? And for the most part, people make passive pigman farms. Now, what's a passive pigman farm? Well, it requires the pigman to walk off. The way they do it is they have a 2 wide or a 3 wide or a 4 wide spawning pad and signs on the edge that basically make the pigmen think that there's a block there. They walk off, they fall to their deaths, and everybody collects gold. And these farms are huge. I mean, we're talking very large. I didn't want that. So I went back to the drawing board and I said, I know what I'll do. Tripwires and pistons on the floor, the lower half. They'll trigger the tripwires. The pistons will fire, pushing the little pigmen off into their little dooms. Yeah. Apparently, tripwire doesn't like having something suddenly pushed under it. So all the tripwire broke. Idea number, 5, 6, I don't know, down the tube. Okay, fine. I quit. I give up. You win. So, yeah. This is what I came up with. It's kind of a hybrid. I don't know if other people are doing it like this. Oops. And obviously the leaves are up here so that nothing spawns. But basically it's Enderman style, end style, whatever you want to call it, with signs there on the edges. So the little pigmen are likely to walk off to their little pigmen doom. And that's that. It works. I haven't really AFK'd a long time here. As far as the hoppers here, they all point to the middle. This quadrant points to this row, and that goes in. And then all of this quadrant points to that row, which goes into the middle. Yada, yada, yada. And then, of course, down. It all goes down, 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 down. And I hear you, you crybabies. Well, hello there. How are you? Where did you spawn? Oh, I bet you spawned on my chest, didn't you? Alright. Let's do that. There we go. Apparently somebody fell off. So, yep. They all comes down, and of course there's just a little timer thing. This sends everything to the Skelly farm, where there's a bunch of hoppers, and they deposit into a double chest there. And that's that. So I need to make more layers to that, and I need to probably expand it a little bit. Not a lot. Don't want to go too big. Oop. Easy, Shadow. Easy. What is on the agenda next? Well, I've been busy. I've been hunting Enderman. There's 4 of them sitting right there. I don't have my looting sword. I've been hunting Enderman, and I have 32, yes, 32 Eyes of Ender, and a few more Ender chests. What else? This is going to be episode 21, and guys, you know what that means. Episode 22 is right around the corner, and we have something special planned. Yes, indeed. For you, I have, yep, you guessed it, a prank. We have a special something that we are going to be giving to someone in the form of a prank, and they have been warned. So there's the end portal, or excuse me, end portal, nether portal, hoppers, and yeah. So definitely need to get better drop rates. We'll work on that. So yeah, episode 22, gonna be a prank. It's gonna be a special prank, and you can look for that, the prank reaction and the prank, to be out on Friday. Try to. Okay. Oops. Okay. Trying to see the date there. That'll be Friday the 17th of January. Is when that should be out. It ought to be interesting. And if the individual does not like what I've done, well, shame on them. Because I've put a lot of time and effort into the setup of this particular prank. What else? I did have a video where I had found a temple out in a desert, and all that was visible of the temple was one of the towers, the very top, and that was it. Everything else was buried. There was a great big sand dune right next to it. And I recorded me digging it out. It turned out pretty crappy. So I scrapped the video. My apologies. But it was really poor quality. Lots of time in between commentary, and the commentary was pretty bad. Pretty bad. So yeah. So my apologies that you guys didn't get to see that. I will try to show more adventure-like stuff here in the future. I think that pretty much gets you up to speed. Oh, well, almost. Here, let's come on out here. As the sun comes up, we will ride back into town, and I will show you guys some of the work that I have done to town. Shadow. Wait, how did he... That was some BS. Come on. Oh, yeah. We got Shadow here, huh? Yeah. Oh, what? Yeah. We're not afraid of those Endermen. Oh, their tubers are building little hidey holes. We take them on. Straight up. So, yeah, check it out, guys. We have bases of housings. Kind of getting it laid out. Trying to figure out where I'm going to put everything. I already showed you guys this. I put up some pumpkins because, yeah, if we're going to have a village, might as well have, some iron golems. So, I'm going to need some pumpkins. I have a ton of, oh, pardon me, iron that I grabbed from the iron farm. Still getting the black wool. That's for another project, which will come to fruition soon. Don't worry, guys. Always. I'm always working hard. Very hard. Alright, well, I am going to end it here, but I did want to get this out for you guys, get updated, and let you know to look for a video on Friday from me and an yet unnamed Ars Umbrian, who will end up being pranked for my 22nd video, Season 2. So, oh, and speaking of 22nd, everybody knows that 2 is very important to me. I'm reaching about 100 and I think it's 150, closing in on 150 videos, which means that the 222 video special is just around the corner, guys. I don't know what I'm going to do yet, but well, it'll have to be something special. So, alright, with that, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.